Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Moving Day from CZT Margaret Bremner. Now, this is a grid pattern, and I have my grid already laid out here. I'm doing a 9 square. And something interesting to note. She says in her blog, and I will have a link to her blog as well as my step out in the description section. She says the number of lines in each square, as well as which stripes are filled in, is random. Okay, so that's up to you. So don't worry about how many stripes. And so I will show you what I mean by that. All right, so I'm going to start. I'm just going to start here. And I'm going to do some diagonal stripes. And again, not really worrying about it. Making it even is, it's one of those, it's okay. But understand that it's not a necessity. And I'm going to do like a checkerboard with these lines here, all going the same direction. So what she's saying is, don't worry about anything. Random is okay. Sometimes when we have things like this, we want things to line up because it's kind of, the tangle is somewhat dependent on it. So we just have to erase that from our brains. This is also nice because, I don't know about you, but my grids, when, you were hand drawing stuff, free form without anything else, then, they're not always even. And so this is beautiful for that because we can have a nice work without having to worry about it. So, and this could be, let's see, and we're going to, so that's the first step. Then the next step, we're just going to shade some in. So, and I switched to my graphic one, just because I want to be a little speedy. Now, I am doing every other one. She does say random, but, well, I shouldn't say but. She says random. In her step out, it alternates. So that's what I'm going to do. But I would say that if you want to play with what, if you maybe do a couple, like you said, all this, it's all random, whichever you do. So I'm going to maybe alternate, whether I'm starting at the top one or not, and then I'm alternating every other. But this is, fun that you could play with. Oh, and where I was saying, so why don't I say this while I'm filling these in here? Because I know that we have some that, and I know, I only know because like on our Facebook, Tangle Addicts Facebook group, there's been some conversation about, using grids or using, some kind of something to help. And so I would dare say this could be a good launching point to just doing it. And freehand, pen and ink, no grid lines, no nothing, and see what happens. Knowing that this one is going to be really forgiving because, like I said, these lines, the number of stripes in each are going to be random, so it's not going to matter if they line up, because sometimes that happens in this. And I know when I first did this one, I was worried about that, and I don't think I had. I'm not sure where I found, maybe I missed that part on her step out, or I was looking at maybe somebody else's step out. I don't know, or it's probably more likely that I just said, "Oh, sure, they say that." But no, I'm still gonna make sure that it's all, nice and tidy and whatnot. But since then, I have gotten a lot more daring and understand a lot more about Zentangle. All right, so once you have your stripes and then filled in, whichever ones you want to fill in, then we're going to do the empty squares, and we're going to do diagonals in the opposite direction. And not worrying about anything. I am just drawing lines. I am not looking. I'm just drawing lines. And I'm saying this because I'm telling myself at the same time it's okay. And don't even try to line anything up. Just draw them. It's okay. Because I have this, just like a lot of people have that sense of, boy, I have this need to have everything line up and be just so. And so this will be the live demonstration of that. It's okay. It's all right. And if I can do it, you can do it. And if you have struggles, leave something in the comments below with that. We'll start a little support group. All right. So, and then essentially, we're repeating. And again, as mentioned, it doesn't matter which you color in and which you fill in and which you don't. Just because I want to, I'm going to stick with the every other. And I didn't mention, I was using the 01 not graphic. I'm using the 1 graphic now just to fill in quicker. But I was using the 01 micron prior to that. And you know what? I am going a little bit fast. I'm going to slow down just a bit. Because I can see that my edges are getting a little sloppy. That's the only thing for me in this one is I can come back with the 1 and just tidy up those lines, because the beauty of when we have fill in stuff is that we can kind of course correct and neaten things up as we want. All right. And it's more just because I'm also trying to hurry, because this is a Zentangle Quickie and I wanted it to be quick. And I also didn't necessarily want to hit pause because I don't really need that much time. And so as you can see, so being that some of these don't line up, this kind of has, I don't know if I'd say a 3D our optical illusion type of effect. It kind of does. Oh, I was sliding off the screen. Sorry about that. And I'll come back and neaten these up a smidge, because that part I think is helpful. Not having it too sloppy. But just by, so you can see by the randomness of it, it has a really, really neat effect. So having things line up, no need to worry about that, because really, the idea of Zentangle, and I'm sorry about that, I don't know why that all of a sudden my phone kind of jumped. And I don't know if you could hear that. I have a window open and apparently people are throwing fits outside. All right, let's just, and you can see how so I'm just taking the 01 and just tracing over the edge just a bit, where it's a little jumpy, and like right here, and we just smooth that right out, or like here where I kind of missed some of that. A lot of times when I'm using that, the graphic, I try to sometimes stay away from the edges just because it has a thick nib, and you don't get that delicateness that you might want. So hey, that looks pretty good. And, so it's just neat. And it's kind of cool that it's random. Don't have to think about it. Just do. And that is the objective of Zentangle, is to just do, pick a pattern, get working on your tile and not really think about it. Now, as far as shading for this one goes, I don't know that you really need it. But if you wanted to, I suppose you could do, maybe in the grid lines. I'm looking at, it looks like maybe what she had done on her sample was to kind of do the overall pattern. So we could give that a try. This one, though, you have to give it a smidge of time. We'll just try that right around the edges here. I was almost thinking you could do it like along the grid lines or something. Could always try that. it might depend on what you're pairing it with, you know, with your overall work. Ooh, yeah, and because this is kind of wet, I'm going to be real light here, because I can feel it dragging, and you can see I'm picking up some of the paper and the ink on that. But you know, shading always just kind of finishes it off nice. But like I said, you could that can be up to you. Yeah, see, it just rounds it off a little bit. And so I could do each, but this is kind of small, so I'm going to leave it at that. But if you were doing a bigger, something bigger, you could maybe do in between. I don't know. It just kind of depends. So anyway, this is a really, really neat tangle, as I mentioned. So and nicely paired if you're doing it next to, you know, ones that are lighter, in nature, where it's more line work. It's just nice to have something like this that I was calling it like a category of, I think it was calling it like black and white, so where it's kind of 50% both ways, you know, 50% white, 50% black, just to give it that that neat contrast. So so with that, I hope you enjoyed. I think it looks really cool. Now, of course, could you use colors? Of course. Oh, and you know what? I'm just looking here. Not intentionally. And that's what's kind of cool. Not intentionally. I have an almost, well, except for right there, but I have kind of like a spiral happening on that one. And it's kind of neat to see what happens when you didn't plan. That's awesome. So anyway, with that, if you enjoyed this video, would love to have a thumbs up. Feel free to share it. If you are not subscribed yet to the channel, would love to have you be a subscriber. And so you just hit the subscribe button and then hit the notification bell next to it so you can decide how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all when I post new videos. I am posting daily for the most part, and sometimes more than once, because I've got some replays of Tangle Time sessions and other things that I'm also doing and I'm kind of getting caught up on. So with that, I do expect to see lots from me if you do subscribe. And with that, I wish you happy tangling.